It's now time for Talkin' Boxing with Billy C. It began as a podcast, went live on the net, and transformed into a full-blown empire. It's the only daily boxing talk show on the planet, hosted by the only guy with the balls to do it. Many have stepped into the ring. Many have tried to take the belt. And one by one, they've fallen. Another victim of the undisputed heavyweight champion of Boxing Talk Radio. Talkin' Boxing with Billy C. is on now.
My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart.
Coming to you live from the Billy C Studios in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for the Billy C Show. Good morning, good day, good evening, blah, 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 blah. Whenever you're listening, whenever you're watching, hope you're doing okay today. Today's show is being brought to us in part by Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant, located on beautiful St. Simon's Island in the state of Georgia. Check out the website, www.salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com, or give my man a call, 912-268-2328, 912-268-2328. Find out why I love to go all the way to St. Simon's to get a decent slice of pizza. Today's show is also being brought to us in part by the Sea Palms, I stumbled there. The Sea Palms Resort, also on St. Simon's Island in Georgia. And speaking of the Sea Palms, we're doing our next Billy C get-together. It will take place on August 25th and 26th at the beautiful Sea Palms. Now, what are we doing? We're going to have some boxing celebrities there and then some other people. We're going to have a meet and greet. We're going to have a golf tournament. We're going to have a special airing of Billy C's Boxing Revisited. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to all march over to Sal's and eat his food. And we'll be showing you the McGregor-Mayweather fight so we can all criticize the fight together because, we're all nobody wants to shell out the money. So we want you guys to come on down and have a good time, hang out with us. They got some great packages available. All you got to do is go to Sea Palms and give them a call and mention Billy C. Now, the best way to get all the info from the Sea Palms Resort, see what you're in for, just visit our website, BillyCBoxing.com, and click on the Sea Palms banner, which is right there on the right-hand side. And today's show is also being brought to us in part by my book, Tom Molyneux, From Bondage to the Baddest Man on the Planet. Find out why this guy means so much to me and why we got to change the way history is written. They just don't have it right. It's a true story. Tom Molyneux was born a slave on a Virginia plantation, was forced into fighting against his will, ended up fighting and winning his freedom and some cash, and went on to become America's first heavyweight champion, and then fought in the very first world title match. And this guy, find out why we got a 5-star rating across the board. Get yourself a copy right now. BarnesandNoble.com or Amazon.com. Or if you're looking to get a signed copy, just visit our website, BillyCBoxing.com, and click on the book. You can't miss it. Coming up today, my main topic today is Manny Pacquiao against Jeff Horn. We want to do some breakdowns and predictions. That's going to come up a little bit later on the show because I got some news to talk about today, some interesting stuff that I wanted to give my thoughts on and hopefully get yours. Remember, if you take the time to drop us an email, we'll take the time to read it. Billy at Talkin' Boxing, that's TalkinBoxing.com is where you send them. And we got a couple of emails to read today and respond on it. And when I say we, I mean me and this guy right here. Joining me, my partner in crime, Sal Rocky Senecola. What's up, Sal? I didn't even notice. Were you not ready, or were you ready?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
I was just
I'm sitting there waiting to flip the camera switch, and all of a sudden, when you were laughing, I was like, "Oh, wait," because you were still in your feety pajamas not 3 minutes ago, right?
3 minutes, 3 minutes. Yes. What's his name? Frank. No, what?
No, Jeff. That's what Jeff Horn's going to be saying on Saturday night. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I wanted to get your thoughts on some stuff. First and foremost, some news. Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz. I can't figure this guy out. Victor Ortiz. He'll forever be etched in my mind, whether it's fair or not. He'll be forever etched in my mind. That after he got beat up, he says on a post-fight interview, he says no one should ever take a beating like that. And I'm saying to myself, you're a professional boxer. If you sign up to be a boxer, you got to assume that part of the job is you're going to take a few shots every now and then. I'm not suggesting that fighters need to take a full-blown beating. No. But it comes with the job. I mean, if you're a carpenter or a lawyer or an accountant or a mechanic or any other job, a pizza restaurant owner or whatever, okay, you're not supposed to take a beating in those fields. But if you sign up to be a boxer, and he also isn't, as much as he seems to be a likable guy, boxing fans don't care too much for him. Well, he's returning to the ring yet again, and he will be fighting at the end of July. He has a record of 31 wins, 6 losses, and a couple of draws. He's taken on Saul Corral, who's got a record of 24-9 with 15 wins coming by knockout. A fight that sticks out in everybody's mind is the sucker punch fight, the last knockout that Floyd Mayweather had. He will be getting another one when he fights Conor McGregor. But the last knockout that Floyd had, as far as I recall, was the time he sucker punched Victor Ortiz. And I say it was a sucker punch because the referee, Joe Cortez, lost control of it. And basically Mayweather just hit this guy when his hands were down and knocked him out. What's your thoughts on Victor Ortiz and his return July 30th?
Well, I wish him a lot of luck. You know how I feel about people coming back in the ring and having some unsaid business finished or completed or come full circle in their own mind. And I think he's got to do this for him. But is it going to be the Victor Ortiz that that's going to say nobody should take a beating like this? I mean, right then and there, is that the fight or flight syndrome showing through? Is this guy's, his best days are probably past him now, and he's looking to come up with a quick plan to make some big money and to, go out a winner. But all those plans don't always get fulfilled the way your intentions are. So, I wish him the very best. I hope he does well. Like to see if he still has a little bit left in the tank to show everybody. But, right then, when he's giving that kind of interview, nobody should take a beating like this. He's already on the downslope as far as competitive boxing.
I don't know if it's fair for me to keep that in the back of my mind. No,
it's fair. It's fair. It's a statement.
Yeah, and it was just, and we didn't see him for a while, and then I don't know. But I hope, I wish him the best. But like I said, the two main things that stick out in my mind with Victor Ortiz was that comment after the fight with Maidana, and then being sucker punched by Floyd Mayweather, and to me. And not to beat up on Floyd Mayweather, but, everybody that knows me knows I'm not a fan of Floyd. But to me, that showed that he is nothing. I mean, that showed what he is. He's a punk. I mean, Floyd to me is
I think you're coming around, though. I think you're coming around a little bit.
No. Wait a minute. I respect Floyd. I respect Floyd's talent in the ring. But I don't think he's a great human being. I think he's basically a scumbag, but that's my opinion there. And everybody has their opinion. The thing that bothers me the most about Floyd, we talk about, the last couple of days we've been talking about rematches and how great they are in boxing. And,
yes,
and,
exactly.
and one of the things that I look for in a rematch is if the fight is close. Now, if the fight isn't close, a guy gets knocked out, then, I could see no need for a rematch. But if the fight is close or there was any type of controversy involved, I think rematches are good, especially if it's two marquee names. And I get these comments from people about Floyd. Oh, Floyd schooled so-and-so. Why should he give him a rematch? And, the definition of schooling a fighter might be different. To me, Floyd wins fights. And he, wins them by being in a position where no one can hit him. But he's not destroying people. He's not knocking people out. He's not hitting them with a barrage of punches. And the definition of school, to me, means somebody that dominates a fighter from start to finish. That's schooling a fighter. Somebody that exchanges. And Floyd has been in somewhat, maybe the scorecards don't indicate it, but he has been in somewhat close fights that, giving a guy a rematch after they went 12 rounds with somebody, don't you get a better feel for him? Don't you perform better in the second time?
I think on the losing side, yes, you do. I mean, both sides should be, because they're familiar. They could take what they saw they did earlier that was a flaw or that was a deficit, and they can turn it around. And that's why I always do like to give an opportunity for or say that a fighter getting a rematch, does his homework. He does go to school, and he does see exactly where he messed up and how he lost that fight, and he tries to negate that going forward. And so it's a good opportunity.
Sal, I don't want to interrupt you and finish this thought, but there's something that you'll like. We just got on Facebook Live, which we simulcast. And by the way, if you're watching on Facebook, don't forget the full TV version where you get the better quality camera and everything is up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/talkin, TALKIN, boxing, BOXING. And Sal, we just got a shout out from Ottavio Di Leo. He says, "Buongiorno from Italy, Sal." So I figured I'd stop you right there. We love, both Sal and I are Italian heritage, and would love to do shows in Italy, wouldn't you, Sal?
Buongiorno, Ottavio. Come stai?
Wouldn't we love to do a live show in Italy?
Oh, are you kidding me? I still have my family. I'm first generation. My family's still in Italy. My mother was born in Ischia, off the island of Naples by Capri, and her last name was Baccanfuso. And then my father, Genicola, they're all from San Fernando Loaria, up by the Campania region outside of Benevento. I would love to do a show in Italy. Let's go. I'm packed up right now.
Yeah, no, I'll just walk out right now if we can get it. But anyway, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
I forgot. I mentioned Italy. That's my blood yearns to go to Italy.
We were talking about Victor Ortiz,
but I'm gonna be my next wife.
Yeah, I'll move it. Yeah, me too. I would. I'd like to. We'll move on. HBO. Their next fight that they'll be doing, I guess, will be the Miguel Cotto Yoshiro Kamagagi fight, which. I say this all the time, the two biggest divas in the sport of boxing, Andre Ward, clearly number one, but right close behind him, Miguel Cotto. And HBO is going to be broadcasting this fight on August 26th, the same night that, McGregor will be fighting Floyd Mayweather. And that's going to be interesting. Maybe we could actually show both of them somehow with our get-together. But... they added another fight, and Ronnie Rios, who's a talented top contender in the super bantamweight division, 28-1 with 13 knockouts, will be challenging the WBC World Super Bantamweight Champion Ray Vargas. So they're adding that fight to the undercard. That might be a much more competitive fight than Cotto Yamagaki, even though Kamagagi is a come at you type fighter and stands a good chance of beating Cotto because Cotto's inactivity plus the mileage on him. It's only a matter of time when he just fizzles out, right, Sal?
Well, Cotto, he's one of those tough old warriors, and I'm going to say that he's going to keep trying to reinvent himself or resurrect his old boxing body the way it used to be, and one day he's going to enter the ring. He's just not going to be there. But I'm not saying this day is going to be. Well, I'm not saying this day is going to happen now. What I'm just trying to say is, one day this day may come, and he might be taking a couple shots that he normally would not have taken. But I like Cotto. He's got a history. He's got everything else, and I know he's getting up there, and he's got to be careful now. He really does.
Well, your impression of Don Corleone makes you sound like you took a couple of too many shots yourself there, buddy.
I gotta make him offer. You can't refuse.
Hey, well, you work on that. We're going to take a short little break. And when I come back, I got some other news to talk about. We got some emails. And we want to break down officially Manny Pacquiao against Jeff Horn. That's scheduled for this weekend. And because programming note, we will not be doing a live show tomorrow. So we want to get this out of the way today. So don't go nowhere. We'll be back in 2.
Billy C will be right back.
Currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-290-8300.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Exercise year-round against a smooth current set to your desired pace and temperature. With our new underwater treadmill, you can walk or run without stressing your joints. Endless pools are simple to install and even simpler to maintain. The water stays crystal clear with almost no chlorine. Call for your free idea kit and experience the freedom of swimming at home.
Snacking has never been this exciting. At Graze.com, we combine wholesome ingredients with the flavors we all love to create over 100 exciting snacks, like these. We'd love to send you a Graze sampler box for free. Just go to Graze.com, enter the code ENJOY36, and we'll mail your free box to your home or office. Join thousands of Grazers already in love with our exciting snacks. So come to Graze.com for your first box free.
If you or a loved one have had hernia repair surgery with mesh reinforcement and suffered infection, chronic pain, mesh migration, mesh failure, organ damage, or needed additional surgery, call the Rely On Group right now. You may be eligible to receive a cash award and compensation for your medical expenses. Your voice deserves to be heard. Call the Rely On Group to be connected with a personal injury attorney for a free consultation. Call 800-715-4869. That's 800-715-4869.
Check out BillyCBoxing.com now, or feel the wrath of the mighty mustache.
Oh, that hurts! Why are you doing that to my face? I hate you!
That's BillyCBoxing.com. Consider this your warning. Now back to Billy C. Interact with the show at BillyCBoxing.com.
And we're back. You're watching and listening to the Billy C Show. Glad you could be with us. And speaking of being with us, don't forget, we want you to be with us on August 25th and August 26th. We're going to be doing a Billy C get-together on beautiful St. Simon's Island in Georgia at the Sea Palms Resort. Make sure you come on down. Not only are we going to have some boxing celebrities there for you to rub elbows with and hang out with, we'll have an official meet and greet with food and everything included. We got some package deals available. We're going to have a golf tournament on the PGA golf course at Sea Palms. We'll be showing the joke of a fight, McGregor and Mayweather, so we can all watch it together. And we're also going to be letting you guys see and be part of a Billy C's Boxing Revisited show, a new program that Sal and I are working on that we've already released our first 4 episodes that are going to be beginning to air on television later in the middle of July, I should say, and we'll keep you posted on that. So be part of a great weekend. It's Friday and Saturday, the 25th and 26th. Make your plans right now. Visit our website, BillyCBoxing.com, and click on the CPOM's banner. Give them a call and mention the Billy C event, and they will give you the options. I think it's around, for double occupancy, I think you get somewhere, don't hold me to it, but I think it's somewhere around $230 per person. You get the room, both rooms. You get access to the meet and greet and the food there. You get breakfast both days. You get the golf and the Mayweather McGregor fight.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That all that for that?
But
That's
wait,
pretty good.
But
Bill.
no, wait, there's more, Sal.
I mean,
but no, wait, there's more, Sal. Because if
There's
they
more.
act now,
Now you
they get
sound
to
like
come
Ron
over to
Popeil
your
in the
pizza place
infomercial. Go
and
ahead.
eat your pizza. Because if they act now, they get that too. So, I mean, come on now. You know, we're going to be doing that as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a great time. Anyway, the World Boxing Super Series, which we've been talking mostly about the cruiserweight division, they are also doing a super middleweight I guess, tournament. Let's refer to it as a tournament. Great fighters in the cruiserweight division already committed. But before yesterday, in the super middleweight division, only the WBA super middleweight super champion, because WBA's got 100,000 different champions for every single weight class. Georgie Groves, he was confirmed. But yesterday they confirmed 2 more undefeated fighters, Eric Skokeland, who's 26-0 with 12 knockouts, and Jamie Cox, who's 22-0. He's also confirmed, so they got 5 more to announce. So that tournament's shaping up, Sal.
Oh, boy, it sounds like it is. And, they're going to get more and more names in there, and I think it's going to be a great way to let the cream rise to the top.
Yeah, well, listen, the super middleweight division is I think I like the super middleweight division, and I think it's got a little more popularity here in the States than the cruiserweight division. But I personally hope that the cruiserweight division gets some more recognition because of this tourney. I think it's a division that gets overlooked, at least here in the States. And we talked about this the other day. It really shouldn't, because it's big guys. It's basically heavyweights of yesteryear fighting each other, and most of the time they're in good shape, Sal.
Well, it's true. I mean, they're just a little bit smaller than some of these mega heavyweights today, but they're a little bit in between with just getting that 175-pound limit. So, I think the cruiserweight division gets a bad rap, doesn't get the attention, but it's a bona fide, solid, validated division. I really think it is. It's caught between a rock and a hard place, or better yet, it's caught between light heavyweight and heavyweight. And the bottom line is, the glamour used to always be on the light heavyweights or the heavyweights. Then pops up the cruiserweight, and it's like the halfway platform. One step or the other. You're gonna lose weight, you're gonna gain weight. So it's kind of the buffer. Every sport needs a buffer.
Who are you, the heat miser? Just put one foot in front of the other.
We need a buffer, Senator.
Anyway,
it's a buffer.
We got some other news with Durrell. Every time I hear the last name Durrell, whether it's Anthony Durrell or Andre Durrell, we got all kinds of crazy stuff. The last time we heard Durrell's name, we heard about Andre Durrell's uncle sucker punching Jose Uzugai, and after that fight, we all know the story of that. It's pathetic. Even Larry Hazard, my man Larry Hazard, mentions that when the Durrell camp comes to the state of Jersey, there's always problems. And these guys, they're synonymous with problems. It seems, and it's a shame. Right. Here we go. We got some more problems. Apparently, the vacant WBC super middleweight title between Callum Smith, who, in my opinion, has earned it. He's 22-0 with 17 knockouts, and Anthony Durrell, which I'm shocked that he gets a shot here. I mean, he's 30 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw with 24 knockouts. And, I know it's a feel-good story, him beating cancer and all of that stuff. But really, when you look at his ring record and who he's fought and how he's won some of these fights, it just seems like he got a fast track. And, I can't help but think that it's partly due to, Al Heyman, his manager, or whatever Al is. But it's been rumored that this fight which was scheduled to take place in September 9th. But as of now, no place or even an undercard has been announced. I mean, it seems like they're at an impasse and getting some stumbling blocks preventing them. And now they're thinking about the fight being postponed to October. I'm thinking it has something to do with the fact that the winning promoter, which is TGB Promotions, who's basically one of the underlings of Al Heyman, who won the championship bid, $1.6 million, is realizing that they overbid for this fight, Sal. And this is typically what happens when a promoter, Don King did it 2 times in a row, overbid for fights. Then he realized that he can't get anybody that's interested in terms of television revenue, no big interest from the fan base, and thus saying to themselves, oh my God, I'm going to be losing a boatload of cash on this. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight gets canceled altogether. Or the WBC is very strict. When you win a purse bid and you can't come up with the money, they basically yank that right from you and offer another purse bid. What's your thoughts on that?
Wow, that's a whole bunch of hula hoops there, and I don't know. I think they're gonna either have to scrap it or start from scratch. That's over chomping the bit a little bit. The bid, get it? The bit, and I tell you, it just adds to the dimension of what's going on in the fight game, and I don't know. We'll see what happens, how this is going to pan out, but they'll probably have to restructure the whole thing from the beginning.
You know how we're always saying, as goes the heavyweight division, so goes boxing. Well, there's a 2-time Olympian super heavyweight who won the bronze medal. Now, in the amateurs, super heavyweight is the bigger guys. Many people think that now pro boxing should have a super middleweight division. I personally don't think so, but he has.
Don't they have it in the form of a junior? No, I'm teasing.
You know what? Your comedy routine today. You need to. Maybe you need to get more sleep or something, because I'm starting to hear crickets from the fan base. But we got 2-time Olympian Ivan Duchko, and Duchko is 6'9", Sal, and he just signed a deal with Henry Ribalta's team out of Florida. And we should be hearing about his first fight soon. But 6'9", man, is the complexion of the heavyweight division changing or what?
I think so. He's going to need oxygen up there.
6'9". You see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I gotta get.
Okay.
I gotta.
I think you need some oxygen.
My jokes are bad this morning. I gotta start all over.
They are. They're pretty bad. They're bad.
I know.
But you
6'9"? Are you kidding me?
I mean, he's. Well, I guess he's not as good. I guess he's not as good in basketball, so that he decided to become a fighter. But speaking of heavyweights, Artur Spitska, who I like, he's by today's standards, he's a small heavyweight, and Adam Konaki, who's another undefeated. Spitska's not undefeated, but Konaki is undefeated. Both Polish fighters. They will be. I believe this is going to be the first fight at the new NYCB Live venue, which used to be the Nassau Coliseum, on July 15th. And Adam Konaki says, I think that styles make fights. My style is perfect for his style. I come forward and bring pressure and he's been dropped so many times, I think his chin is probably gone. It's hard to recuperate from a knockout like he had against Deontay Wilder. And, I hear that quote, and, sometimes fighters that have these rah-rah trainers, and I'm not suggesting Kaunaki does, maybe he does, they start to believe the stuff that's whispered in their ear and shouted at them. And if you're going into a fight thinking that your opponent has a weak chin based on his last knockout, and I'm not saying that couldn't be the case, I don't know. I think that's going into a fight, a gunfight with a gun that's not loaded all the way. What do you think, Sal?
I don't know. I'd have to say, see, a fighter wants to believe what he wants to believe when he wants to believe it, in a sense that if it makes it feel good, he can rationalize it, and that's good. And, if he feels this guy's got a questionable chin after a couple episodes or a couple big shots, hey, who knows? It's a calculated guess, but let him go in there charged up thinking that, and what's the worst case scenario he's going to do? He's going to land a combination, land some big shots, and the guy's going to be standing. Well, he's going to have to go back to the drawing board and know that the guy could take a shot, or he doesn't have enough power to end the fight with a shot. So I don't think it's neither here or there. When you step in the ring of battle, you've got to have yourself across the board prepared, ready, and willing to endure the fight on all levels.
That's my point, and I'll respond to that in about 2 minutes because we're going to take a short break. So don't go nowhere.
Billy C will be right back.
Snacking has never been this exciting. At Graze.com, we combine wholesome ingredients with the flavors we all love to create over 100 exciting snacks. Like these. We'd love to send you a Graze sampler box for free. Just go to Graze.com, enter the code ENJOY36, and we'll mail your free box to your home or office. Join thousands of Grazers already in love with our exciting snacks. So come to Graze.com for your first box free.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-290-8300.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Exercise year-round against a smooth current set to your desired pace and temperature. With our new underwater treadmill, you can walk or run without stressing your joints. Endless pools are simple to install and even simpler to maintain. The water stays crystal clear with almost no chlorine. Call for your free idea kit and experience the freedom of swimming at home.
Snacking has never been this exciting. At Graze.com, we combine wholesome ingredients with the flavors we all love to create over 100 exciting snacks. Like these. We'd love to send you a Graze sampler box for free. Just go to Graze.com, enter the code ENJOY36, and we'll mail your free box to your home or office. Join thousands of Grazers already in love with our exciting snacks. So come to Graze.com for your first box free.
Check out BillyCBoxing.com now, or feel the wrath of the mighty mustache.
Oh, that hurts! Why are you doing that to my face? I hate you!
That's BillyCBoxing.com. Consider this your warning. Now back to Billy C. Interact with the show at BillyCBoxing.com.
And we're back. You're watching The Billy C. Show. Glad you could be with us. And don't forget about being with us on August 25th and 26th down in St. Simon's Island for the Billy C. Get-Together. 2 days of activities. We're going to have some demonstrations going on. My man Sherman Henson, a renowned trainer out of Tampa, will be doing some demonstrations. And Sal, you volunteered. You already said, "Hey, I'm the guy. I want him to."
I'm the guy. I'm gonna get in the ring. I'm I'm going to be the demonstratee.
Well, there might not be a full ring setup, but yeah, and hopefully
Sherman. Just give me, hey, I don't care if it's a phone booth. Just give me give this here bull a stage where this here bull could rage.
Well, let me tell you, my man Sherman, I'm going to slip him a couple of bucks and tell him, hey, just hit him a little harder with the mitts. You know what I mean?
That's all.
We'll see. But anyway, before we went to break, we were talking about Adam Konaki's comment. And counting on he's counting on Artur Spitska's chin to be weak. My point, Sal, was that hopefully this is just him talking, and they're not basing their whole game plan around their assessment that Spitska's chin has been weakened after the knockout loss to Deontay Wilder. My point is, normally. When you're going to make a statement, to me, I like my fighters to say, if they say anything, I like them to say, we got multiple game plans. I think today, because the lack of talented and educated trainers and teachers, and that's the key word, the lack of teachers in boxing, I think we get rah-rah men. They basically focus on one thing and never have a plan B or C or even D. And that's what separates a good trainer from a not good trainer, the guys that can make the adjustments during the fight.
And you're so right. And like I said, every time we talk and we have something like this, it really gives me a chance to go back in my mind, memory lane, and think of the moments that stand out where I was in a similar situation. And I look at the trainers that I had in my life and have been blessed with. Man, I'll tell you. And we always had a plan B. When something didn't work, we always changed it up. Or even if we didn't intend to go to that, we knew how to draw from it and to adjust. And it was something that we communicated with. You knew your trainer knew you, and it wasn't just a rah-rah man. And, like I said, I've had nothing but the warmest thoughts of my relationships with some of my trainers, and the good ones that really it felt like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But, and it was me out there, but it was like, wow, this trainer, it's more than just a rah-rah man. You got to have confidence in your trainer. You got to believe in what he says, because he's the pair of eyes that could see things that you are just in the heat of battle. You don't have the vision to see everything going on around you.
Right. Well,
at times.
Well, that's the most important thing, in my opinion. But Spitzka said, I have heard the talk from Konaki about my chin, but there's nothing that he can say once we're in the ring. On July 15th, everyone will see my power, and it will verify that I am the better fighter. We've talked a lot today, but on the 15th, only our fists can talk, and I can't wait to perform in front of everyone. I'll show the whole world that I'm ready for another shot at the world title. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. I got some more talk about the heavyweight division, and then also light heavyweight division concerning. Joe Smith Jr. and stuff. But let's start talking about the main, which I thought was going to be the main topic of the show today. The big fight this weekend between Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn. I'll break down and give you my official predictions, which, you don't need a crystal ball to figure out who's going to win this one, at least in my opinion. But Jeff Horn, he is the challenger. Because Manny Pacquiao owns the WBO World Welterweight title. Who is Jeff Horn? Well, that's the big question. Who is this guy? That's the big question that everyone's asking, because his whole career has been fought from the land down under, in the land down under, I should say. Or on the land down under. I don't know, in Australia, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Boxing kangaroos.
Yeah, that's it. He's been fighting the kangaroos. But he's 29 years old, and the computer ranks him at number 12 in the world as a welterweight. He is currently, or I don't know if they made him give up the title, but the WBO Intercontinental welterweight champion. it's funny. Every time I hear Intercontinental, I can't help but think of, wrestling, because they're the ones that had the Intercontinental and all that. And all of a sudden, boxing started doing it. But when I look at,
I think of breakfast buffet.
When I think of, what's his name, Bret Hart. That's who I think of. But anyway, Jeff Horn is 29 years old, 9 years younger than Manny. He's 5'9", which is giving him almost a 4-inch height advantage. And at 68-inch arm reach, he actually only has a 1-inch reach advantage. When I look at this guy's experience, Sal, he's only fought 17 times, and he hasn't even hit 100 rounds in those 17 fights yet. He's got 349 rounds less than what Manny Pacquiao has fought as a pro. He's got a record of 16 wins, no losses, and 1 draw, 11 of his wins coming by knockout. But when you look at his resume, all you see, at least all I see, is 2 names that he deserves credit for, even though both of the fighters he faced, that I'm going to say, he faced at the end of their careers, but he knocked them both out, which, is a good thing. Randall Bailey, he knocked out, Randall Bailey couldn't continue. He got a 7-round stoppage in that one. He fought Randall Bailey in 2016, in April of last year. And then in his last fight, which was December of last year, because he fought 3 times last year, has not fought yet this year, he beat Ali Funica, who was actually a pretty good fighter, but again, past his prime, and stopped him in 6 rounds. He's a one-dimensional fighter, in my opinion. He's a power puncher. He tries to knock you out. He has a tendency to stand up straight. I really don't know what he's expecting. From what I understand, against Manny Pacquiao, he's expecting to beat him with the short shots, and hope that he can do like Juan Manuel Marquez did to Manny Pacquiao, and catch him and drop him. He does have punching power, as I stated, 65% knockout ratio for Jeff Horn. When you look at Manny Pacquiao, currently the WBO world champion in the welterweight division, this is a former multi-division world champion, currently the welterweight champion of the WBO, like I mentioned. But this guy has won titles in 7 other divisions. He's the only 8-division world champion, which says a lot. The computer has him ranked at number 1. Now, many people might argue that and say that there's some other welterweights out there that are better than him, but none of them can compare the resume that Manny has. He's 38 years old. He's 5'5.5", and he's got a 67-inch reach. He's a southpaw, and the thing that makes Manny Pacquiao so difficult to beat is that he's got hand speed, lightning. Even though he's slowed down a bit now at 38 years old, he's still very fast. But the thing that's so hard to beat with Manny Pacquiao, and likewise it's very hard to get sparring partners to emulate it, is the angles in which Manny throws his punches. You're contending with the speed that's coming at you and the angles that's coming at you. He has a tendency to dart in, dart out, throw punches from all angles as you catch the punch coming with your eye, whether you're going to block it or whatever. There's another one coming from some other place, and it's very hard to defend over a course of a fight. He's got 67 fights under his belt. He sits on a record of 59 wins, 38 coming by knockout, which incidentally, his knockouts alone, he's got 21 more knockouts than Jeff Horn has total fights, which is pretty amazing to me. He does have 6 losses in which he was stopped 3 times. He has 2 draws on his record. His knockout percentage is 57%. His last knockout came a kind of a while ago. His last knockout was, his last knockout came against Miguel Cotto way back in 2009. He's been knocked out since then. He's won his last 2 fights after he lost that snooze fest against Mayweather. He did say after the fight, I hurt my shoulder. I that's why I lost the fight. I hurt my shoulder. So he did make all kinds of excuses after the fight. Some people believe he actually won the fight. I'm not one of them. Although I'm not a big fan of Mayweather or his style or anything about the man, he certainly beat Manny Pacquiao that night in 2015. I, for one, would have loved to see a rematch. And the only reason is because I want Manny to fight at 100% and make no excuses should Mayweather beat him again. But as Manny went on with his career after the Mayweather fight, he fought and beat Timothy Bradley, who I feel is a pound-for-pound top fighter. And then he won the title against Jesse Vargas in his last fight, November of last year. And we all know Floyd Mayweather chose Conor McGregor, a guy that's never fought professionally in a boxing ring before and hasn't even fought on the amateur level before. And Floyd chose that type of a fighter versus Manny, who, many people believe the Jeff Horn fight is a tune-up for a possible rematch. I don't think Floyd will fight anyone after he beats McGregor, so who knows what's going to happen with Manny after the Jeff Horn fight. How do I think the fight's going to go? Well, I think Manny Pacquiao is going to knock out Jeff Horn. It's not going to go 8 rounds. This fight might even end very quickly in the first or second round, but I'm predicting Manny Pacquiao by knockout to score his second knockout since knocking out Miguel Cotto in 2009, which, man, that seems like a long time ago. I believe Manny Pacquiao will knock him out despite being on his cell phone during press conferences and not taking this fight too serious and all these other things that he's being criticized for. Manny by knockout inside 8 rounds. Sal, what's your thoughts on the fight and your official prediction?
Ditto. That's it.
Okay.
Man, Billy, let me tell you something. I love listening to you, breaking it down and everything else, because, man, that's exactly how I see this fight going. I was going to say maybe within 6 rounds, but I definitely do not see this fight going past 8 rounds. And again, not taking away from Jeff Horn, because this is his moment. This is his opportunity that, he's been fighting in his own country under the radar for all these years, and I mean he's only got 17 fights, and basically, it's time to step up, and this is his corners and his team's cash-in fight. I mean, basically, this is it, and he's going to be coming out here looking to do what he could do with his punching power, but you're going to see him exposed. You're going to see what he's going to be doing, stepping in a world-class pool and a world-class ring with Manny Pacquiao. And it's he could have all the power in the world. Manny's going to be ready for it. Manny trained for this fight. He's a professional. He gets up for these fights, and he's going to knock him out. He's going to knock him out. Jeff Horn could have the height advantage. That's nothing. I had more trouble with guys I fought my size than the taller guys that had 6 inches on me. I just chop them down like a tree. I love the body. And that's all Manny could do. Manny's going to cut the ring off on this guy. Manny's going to hit this guy from all angles. And Manny's going to be an aggressive. And when you got a buzzsaw like Manny Pacquiao on you, it's a hard thing to dissuade and a hard opponent to try to counter. And Manny's going to be throwing punches and bunches, and Jeff Horn is going to feel what it's like to really be in with a world-class fighter, and he's going to fold.
Let me ask you this. I believe this is a win-win fight for Jeff Horn.
It is.
He, as long as he puts up some kind of a fight, he's going to get other opportunities, similar to Chris Algieri, although Chris Algieri, he capitalized on some of the opportunities that he had. I believe that Jeff Horn is in a win-win situation. But as far as Manny Pacquiao is concerned, what's next for him? I mean, does he have to look sensational in this fight? What if he doesn't look sensational? Are people going to say he's finished? Does he continue his career? I don't even know why he's fighting anymore. I mean, he's got nothing left to prove. Will he do something Floyd Mayweather refuses to do, and that's fight a young buck coming up, not even coming up, a guy that's an established champion like Keith Thurman or now Errol Spence, or even a guy that's lost his last 2 fights, but Kell Brook. I mean, would Manny Pacquiao go in the ring with one of these guys, or is he focused on possibly trying to obtain a rematch with Floyd, and if he doesn't get it, ride off into the sunset. I mean, it's hard to gauge. I mean, the most likely scenario would be a Terrence Crawford fight. There's been talk about that fight now for about a year. They are promoted by the same guy. Bob Arum looks at that as a win-win situation for himself. It could be a nice win for Manny if he beats Crawford, or if Crawford beats Manny, it's an official passing of the torch. I mean, there are options for Manny, but does he have to do them? I mean, it's very confusing to me why Manny Pacquiao is even doing what he's doing. I mean, he seemingly has made plenty of money in his career. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's like I said from the get-go. The only fight that I really supported and I wanted to see, even though I professed the night it happened that I would never want to see a rematch, the only fight I could see Manny Pacquiao validating his comeback and going back to the mountain, going back to the well, would be a fight against Floyd Mayweather. Now, this has not happened in these years, and I don't see what's really left for Manny Pacquiao. Like I said, here's an Division 8-time world champion, and he's done everything he could, And when if he was going to be stepping in the ring with a one of these other top welterweight champs or something else, it would be a totally different conversation you and I would be having right now, as far as why, if he was going to be fighting Keith Thurman Saturday night. You and I would be talking, well, Pat Manny, this might be his last fight. He might get hurt. He might this and that, because I think that's a very tough fight for Manny Pacquiao against a Keith Thurman. But we were talking about Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn. It's Jeff Horn's opportunity. It's his chance on a world stage to make a name for himself, to be a credible contender or fighter in the limelight, and making it and possibly beating Manny would be a lucky draw of the straws. So it's his great opportunity. And really, to say this, he's just got to look good. He's got to look respectful. He's got to last a couple good rounds, and he's got to come out and with the fire to win. I think Manny Pacquiao is going to stop him, though. And what's left for Manny after that? I don't know. The whole purpose of Manny coming back, I thought, was to fight Floyd Mayweather. So I haven't been really caring to watch any of these other fights that Manny's doing, because he doesn't need to.
Well, I think that was Manny's goal. But Floyd's not going to give Manny Pacquiao another chance at him. He's too risky for Floyd. And Floyd doesn't take chances. He takes the easy way out. We all know that. So I think the next logical one, like my man Sherman in the chat room, on Facebook is saying, it's true. Terrence Crawford is probably the guy if Manny continues. I personally don't think he needs to, and quite frankly, I don't even think he should be doing what he's doing. He has an opportunity. He beat Jesse Vargas for the title, and one of the most important things as a pro boxer, in my opinion, is to retire as a champion and never come back because they can never take your title away. I said the other day, Lennox Lewis, I was never a big fan of Lennox Lewis while he was fighting, but I've come to respect him more and more because he's a guy that retired as a champ and never came back. So it's going to be interesting to see. And one thing I will comment on what you said: if Manny Pacquiao did come back after beating Horn on Saturday, which I'm sure he will, and if he doesn't, that might be as big of an upset as if Conor McGregor could beat Floyd. But I think that if Manny did come back and fight a guy like Keith Thurman, that's what great fighters do, though, Sal. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, even though it's not logical and doesn't make sense for Manny, as far as Manny's situation and where he's at in his career, but when you look through the history books and you see all the past, all-time great fighters, that's exactly what they do. They come back and they go after the top guy. They go after, an aging fighter that wants that glory one more time, comes back and goes for the best guy they can find. And you can make a strong argument that the best guy in the welterweight division is Keith Thurman or possibly Errol Spence Jr. So, I mean, it would be one of those two guys. Unlike, and this has been my gripe with Floyd Mayweather, Floyd has never done that, ever. At least for the last 10 or 12 years, he's never seeked out the best of any division, let alone his own. He just hasn't done it. And how people can label him the best ever is beyond me. It's a joke. So at least I give Manny credit, not so much for, the Jeff Horn fight, but he fought Timothy Bradley after Mayweather. He fought Jesse Vargas, who was a champion, young champion, tough guy. You got to give him credit for that.
Yes, you do, and you're 100% right. And like I said, if he, we just look at the history and how it repeats itself. Is this Joe Louis in his later years? Is this going to be Sugar Ray Robinson in his later years? They're great former champions, and they went out and passing the torch several times, and their last couple of fights they didn't fare so well. So maybe this is going to be Manny's way that he wants to follow that pathway, not intentionally, of course, because that's why you're a fighter. You feel you could beat everybody anytime, and that's the fight in you. I would like to see, and I hate to say this, but Manny Pacquiao should get well past this fight with Jeff Horn, and I think that. If Jeff Horn looks good and is credible and shows a good offense and a good chin, maybe he'll be in the mix for unification or some future title fights with a Keith Thurman or Kell Brook or Errol Spence. But those top guys right there and Terrence Crawford, I mean, you got a beautiful formulation right there with the round robin effect that I always talk about. Those guys fighting on the level that they are in the same weight division is going to be hard to top and hard. It's going to be a whole gauntlet that Manny Pacquiao could choose to go through if he wishes to do so. And I think one of those guys are going to have a different answer for Manny than Jeff Horn.
Well, no doubt. And, they're making some points in the chat rooms. By the way, if you're watching the feed, check out our official chat room, BillyCBoxing.com. Go into the chat room there.
I can't read.
But we also have the Facebook. We're simulcasting on Facebook. And if you're watching us on Facebook, whether you're watching us live or whether you go to the feed later, remember, that's not the television video feed. If you want to see the actual TV video feed, you got to go to the YouTube page or BillyCBoxing.com. But both of those fights, Manny Pacquiao against Crawford or Keith Thurman, would be very lucrative for both fighters, and it would be a good fight. I mean, styles make fights, and I couldn't see a fight between Terrence Crawford and Pacquiao or Pacquiao and Thurman being anticlimactic like Pacquiao Mayweather was. I both fighters in Crawford and Keith Thurman do engage. They both box well, but they also are not afraid to engage. You would think that Thurman, has got a little more pop because he's bigger. But, Terrence Crawford has that mean streak in him when he's inside the ring. I mean, I would love to see it. But again, I go back to the fact that, what does Manny have left to prove? I mean, he's 38 years old. That's the problem with fighters today, Sal. I mean, well, any athlete, it's hard to let go. And you still wonder why he's even fighting. You know what I mean? As you're shuffling all your papers.
So true, Bill. So true.
Oh, okay. Is that it? That was a quick.
No, it's so true. Because you know what? Like I said, maybe I'm a little extreme, a little off the wall, but there's nothing more that I'd like to do right now than to be back in that ring fighting. I mean, every day we talk fights in the pizzeria. Every day I'm throwing combinations. Every day my staff knows how to charge me up. They ring the bell. I do my thing, and we're talking boxing. We're talking this. We're talking boxing without Billy C because you're not here. But the thing is this, every fighter has a hard time saying goodbye to what they've done and what they've been passionate about, what they know how to do. And I remember one of my old trainers. He used to say, "Sal, the fight game is very, very tricky, and by the time you learn everything you need to know about boxing, it's time to retire." But you don't want to let it go. You don't, and that's why I can understand a little bit how Manny Pacquiao is holding on And these are the glory days for these guys. There's nothing else that's going to match it in their whole life. Nothing that they're going to rise to the occasion. I mean, yes, there is. I mean, you got challenges, you got other opportunities, you got other mountains to climb. However, being under the spotlight, being on a world stage, and being something like putting it mano a mano, it's the fire, it's the intensity, it's the drama, it's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That's the whole thing.
I've heard that somewhere.
It's emotional attraction. It's an emotional. Boxing could be an emotional drug that's hard. It's hard to let it go. It really is.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. I heard that somewhere. I heard that before.
Did I coin that?
I love. No, you didn't. I love that. I loved that on Wide World of Sports. Watching that, the agony of defeat. Watching that skier just wiping
skier,
out.
Man. He does a 360, and he looked like he looked like a helicopter blade coming off that ramp.
Yep, no doubt. But hey, Sal, we're going to take
right.
another break, and when we come back. We got some emails to read, and I got some more news to talk about. So we'll be back in 2.
Billy C will be right back. Part of the Billy C Boxing Network.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-290-8300.
Snacking has never been this exciting. At Graze.com, we combine wholesome ingredients with the flavors we all love to create over 100 exciting snacks. Like these. We'd love to send you a Graze sampler box for free. Just go to Graze.com, enter the code ENJOY36, and we'll mail your free box to your home or office. Join thousands of Grazers already in love with our exciting snacks. So come to Graze.com for your first box free.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Exercise year-round against a smooth current set to your desired pace and temperature. With our new underwater treadmill, you can walk or run without stressing your joints. Endless pools are simple to install and even simpler to maintain. The water stays crystal clear with almost no chlorine. Call for your free idea kit and experience the freedom of swimming at home.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-290-8300.
Check out BillyCBoxing.com now, or feel the wrath of the mighty mustache.
Oh, that hurts. Why are you doing that to my face? I hate you.
That's BillyCBoxing.com. Consider this your warning. Now back to Billy C. Interact with the show at BillyCBoxing.com.
And we're back. You're watching and listening to the Billy C Show. Glad you could be with us. And speaking of being with us, we'd love to have you join us for our next Billy C event. And our next Billy C get-together will be taking place on August 25th and 26th on beautiful St. Simon's Island in Georgia. We will be having it at the Sea Palms Resort. A lot of stuff going on. We're going to have some boxing celebrities there. We've already gotten Bobby Ches to agree to come, and I'm working on some other fighters that we'll announce soon. I think we're going to even get Larry Hazard to come. We got renowned trainer out of Tampa, Florida, Sherman Henson, going to be doing some demos and training techniques. And my man Sal Rocky Senecola has basically said he's the one that Sherman's going to slap around. So we're excited to watch that. Anytime I see Sal get slapped around, I enjoy it.
Absolutely.
As long as he makes the pizza first. So come on down. We'll have a meet and greet. We got some food. We got a golf tournament of all for fun because I don't even play golf that well. I have a hard time hitting it through the spinning wheel all the time. Oh, we're not playing miniature golf. Are we playing real golf or miniature golf? No, I'm only kidding. It is real golf. Yeah, but miniature golf isn't bad. But anyway, I might just drive the cart and drink. I don't know. But we're gonna have a golf tournament. We're also gonna be. Sal and I have worked on a new TV show that's going to be airing in July. It's called Billy C's Boxing Revisited. And we're going to be doing one of these, at least one, during this weekend where you guys will be part of the audience. So that'll be fun. And then, of course, we're going to culminate with the farce of a fight called McGregor-Mayweather. So you guys can come on down and have equal amount of fun with us making fun of the fight, and we can all enjoy it together. The CPOMs has some great package deals. And like I said earlier, I believe it's like $230, $235 a person based on double occupancy. You get the room for the really nice rooms at the CPOM for 2 nights. You get breakfast, you get the meet and greet and the food that's going to be offered there. You get access to the fight and the Billy C Boxing Revisited. Plus, we're all going to truck over to Sal's, and Sal will let you sample some of his pizzas. We're going to have a good time, man.
Absolutely. Well, Bill, I'm so excited about this. We are going to have a great time. And it's perfect timing. It is the week before Labor Day weekend. So everybody could have their plans for Labor Day. Well, this won't interfere because it's the week before. And it's a perfect time to have your last chance getaway and come on down and stay at the beautiful Sea Palms and check out my island, St. Simon's Island.
I love this. I love the Sea Palms. Remember the last time I was there, I even said to the powers that be at Sea Palms, hey, because I've talked about coming down and actually destroying the island by living there. And I said to Sal, hey, you let me move in. The Sea Palms had a nice place for me. I would live right there. That's where I would live. And that particular suite I got last time is exactly where I would live. That's where you should bring. I'll tell you the truth, Sal.
Billy, they have beautiful condos like that all throughout Sea Palms plantation there. I mean, we could both, let's go partners. We'll buy a condo. We'll use it for whatever we want to do to come on down.
No, listen, the young lady I met at your place, she had one of those condos that was they're on the opposite side of where I stayed, but I would love to get one of those myself and come on down. What I think would be really good is if we did the show alternate from a studio down there and a studio here. That's what I think. But anyway, let's get people caught up. We got some emails to read. I got some more boxing news, but first, in Major League Baseball, the Phillies beat the Mariners the Phillies beat the Mariners 5-4. The Giants beat the Can't even read my own writing. Giants beat the Rockies 5-3. The Nationals beat the Cubbies 8-4. Pirates over the Rays 6-2. Blue Jays over the Orioles 4-0. 4-0. The Twins beat the Red Sox 4-1. The Indians over the Texas Rangers 5-3. The Royals over the Tigers 8-2. Reds beat the Brewers 4-3. The Astros keep winning. They beat the A's 11-8. The Cardinals over the Diamondbacks 4-3. The Angels over the Dodgers. My Dodgers lost. Angels 3-2. The Padres 7. The Braves 4. The Yankees beat up on the White Sox 12-3. And my team actually won again. The Mets, but behind Steven Matz, shut out the Marlins, which typically they can't beat 8-0. So that's what took place in baseball. Yeah, I don't know.
They're showing some good life.
I think what's happened with that is that there were some other players, some quality players, dressed up as Mets the last couple of days, and that's why the Mets have won. But let's get some emails out the way. This first one is from Jesse. He says, hey, Billy C. and Sal, I read that Ray Vargas will face Chris Avelos. Is this just a stay busy fight for Vargas since Avelos is basically just a show up and cash in fighter? Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, Chris Avelis is a tough fighter. He's a good opponent, and I think that's exactly what Ray Vargas was looking for, a stay busy type fight, but not against a typical slug. I think Chris Avelis does win, and he does come to fight. I don't think that he just shows up for a payday. I think he comes and tries to win, but usually when he's facing that upper level competition, he doesn't fare well. When he faces level of opposition like himself or lower, he does well, and that's where he got all his wins from, obviously. He says, how does ESPN showing of Manny versus Horn work? Does ESPN pay Top Rank to show the fight, or does Top Rank pay ESPN to air the fight? That's a good question. We were talking about that and comparing it to Al Heyman's Premier Boxing Champions series. When the PBC first hit, they actually were paying the networks, with the exception of Showtime. And the model was very confusing. I thought that by them doing that, they would build up the fighters, paying for the slot, and then culminate to a pay-per-view event, which they never did. And what it seems that Al Heyman was trying to do was build up a big audience, then come back and offer that series to the same networks he was paying for the time and have them pay him for it. The way I'm 100% sure, but let me rephrase that. I'm 99% sure, because I don't know for a fact, but I would bet my last nickel, if I had one, on the fact that ESPN is paying Top Rank for the United States broadcast rights, and they'll be taking the feed that's already in place from Australia. Knowing Bob Arum and Top Rank, I doubt very much that they would pay for the time, because what would they get out of it? I think that the ESPN, by paying for the time, can up their advertising costs to potential advertisers because of the large audience that they know that they will have. So I'm pretty sure, 99.999% sure, that ESPN is paying Top Rank for this broadcast and not the other way around. He says, the way I read and see videos on Horn, he's basically saying that he's relying on one shot to knock out Manny Pacquiao. He can't just rely on one shot. He must move and outwork Manny in the inside, which is likely not to happen. I disagree with Dax that Horn has a very good shot with his experience against Ali and Bailey and some Euro fighters. That's not enough. Even if Manny isn't taking the fight as serious as he takes his texting during press conferences, Horn still has a long shot. But that should be worrisome that Manny isn't too focused. Will you see the entire Manny Horn card? Any fights or fighters that you're looking forward to on that card? Yeah, I will watch it. It'll be interesting to see some of them. But, Dax, I don't think Dax was giving him that much of a chance, but I don't know. Dax also feels that, Heather Hardy is a quality fighter, so I don't know. I don't think that that Horn has much of a chance, and I certainly don't think that him moving around would be advantageous to him. What do you think, Sal?
No, I think, like I said, it is his opportunity, but I just think that I don't give him much of a chance. I mean, he's going to go out there and he's going to do his best, and if he looks respectful, looks good, he'll position himself in the future for good likely fights. And I'm not writing the guy off, because I'll be contradictory of what I always say. Any given night, something can happen, and that holds true. Any given night, something could happen. I mean, he could come up with a good shot, and it's going to be a short night on the other end. But it's unlikely. Black and white facts on paper, and without the variables that could happen in the course of a fight, all point to him not coming up as the victor.
The thing is I guess the only way to really be effective against Manny Pacquiao is to possibly, get him in the corners or against the ropes, similar to what Juan Manuel Marquez did, and try and catch him. Because of his hand speed and his unorthodox style of delivering punches from all angles. I think the only way to really beat him would be to try to, bully him into a corner or against the ropes and smother him, so to speak. But But Jeff Horn, his physical build isn't conducive to that. I mean, he's so much taller, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Maybe the size, maybe because he is bigger, he'll be able to muscle Manny. But I don't think. I think that his physical attributes are perfect for Manny to look good, even at 38 years old.
I agree with you. It is, and believe me, Manny's the A fighter here. We know that. And let me ask you this, because I haven't heard much about it. Usually, a fighter like this coming into a big mega fight like this for him at 17 fights or 18 fights. Usually, we will hear about a stellar hundreds of fights as an amateur. I haven't heard anything about this guy's amateur career. Have you?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't know. And you would think if he was going to be showcased as the A fighter or something like that, you'd hear more. Oh, he had a stellar amateur career. He had 300 wins, or he had 200 wins, or even had 100 wins. But I haven't heard that he's had any amateur fights. I mean, I'm sure he has, but what I'm saying is, usually with a fighter with this little experience, they'll build it predicated on, well, he's a world beater. He did this in the Olympics, or he won these Australian nationals, or he did this here. I haven't heard any one iota of an amateur fight career.
Well, yeah, we're not hearing the same stuff about Conor McGregor either, right?
Who?
Exactly. So we got another email here. This one's from Joel. And Joel says, hey, Billy C., what are your thoughts on Phil Jackson and the Knicks mutually agreeing to part ways? It seems the New York area is very happy that Jackson's leaving, being he was overpaid and did nothing to improve the legacy of a franchise who's probably considered one of the most popular in the NBA when the team does well, as they did in the mid to late 90s. My thoughts on Phil Jackson is, with the money, and it's not just basketball, but with the money that teams, professional sports, pay the athletes today, football, baseball, basketball, etc. When a team starts doing badly, the guys that go are the head coaches or the GMs, and they're the ones that get all the blame. They're not a team owner or ownership is not going to get rid of a guy that they're paying $100 million to over a course of several years or whatever. They're going to get rid of the coach that they're paying much less to. Now, in Jackson's case, they did give him an outrageous contract that they're looking to settle, which they did. I believe it was around $60 million over the cost over the whole length of the contract, and I think he agreed to just walk away and settle on a measly 20.5 or 20.4 million, which I don't know how he can live on that, Sal. But Phil Jackson.
Let me show him.
Yeah, Phil Jackson has been there, done that. He has many championship rings as a player and a coach. There's nothing really you can do from a criticism point to really beat up on Phil Jackson, except the fact that he was beyond his years, so to speak. And I believe that the fault really should fall on the ownership. Dolan should have never made the deal, should have never thrown that much money at a guy like Phil Jackson at this stage of his career and life. The same thing is happening with, what's his name, with Miami. They're starting to fall. What the heck's his name? Why can't I think of who's the other super coach in the NBA? You know who I'm thinking of? Oh God, somebody better help.
I know who you're thinking of. I just
anyway, Pat Riley. Yes. I knew it was going to come to me, but Pat Riley. Same thing. He's not doing as well down south. But you can't criticize him for what he's done in the past, Same thing with Phil Jackson. So I think it was time, and the Knicks have a lot more problems than Phil Jackson. What I didn't like about the story was that they're one of their young draft picks said, it basically went AWOL and said he doesn't want to play if Jackson's involved. Felt very slighted when he was doing a workout, and Jackson was falling asleep, but it is what it is. He also says, secondly, do you and Sal have any interest in the Povetkin-Rudenko fight, which is scheduled this Saturday in Russia? I'm absolutely watching the card as it's available through Fight TV. And by the way, if you want to watch all these cards, make sure you download our app. Go to Fight, that's F-I-T-E, fight.tv/Billy C. Download our app for free right now, and you'll be able to watch all these fights. Or you can just get them right on the front page of our website. If you go to BillyCBoxing.com, we have the player for Fight TV. So all those fights you can watch on BillyCBoxing.com. He says, if I had something better to do, I'd probably watch it on demand, but I'll be home, and I'll check out the whole card. What do you and Sal think Povetkin can do with a win here? Has the ship sailed on the chance to fight Wilder? That's a good segue, Sal, because Povetkin, there's reports that he's looking real good and everything else. But my question is, and I do think he's a quality fighter, but my question is, how many chances does this guy get? I mean, he tested positive not once but twice to fight Povetkin. To fight Wilder, and he also tested positive for another fight prior to that. So, he has a history of failing the performance-enhancing drug tests, that he's always claimed, were incorrect test results. As far as fighting Deontay Wilder, I think Deontay Wilder is using the fact that he tested positive to avoid him. The same thing happened with Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs 3 or 4 years ago and has been tested many, many times since. And Deontay Wilder says he's not going to fight him because he's a cheater. I think Deontay Wilder is a fraud, personally. I know he doesn't think so. He believes that he's, the best heavyweight in the world, and he certainly hasn't fought anyone close to being a real top-notch heavyweight. But as far as Alexander Povetkin's concerned, how many chances does the guy get? He is fighting for a WBO international title, which is on the line, and also the WBA intercontinental title is on the line. So he's got 2 sanctioning bodies that are sanctioning his fights, which maybe opens up the doors for an opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua, who holds the WBA title, or Joseph Parker, who holds the WBO title. I think it's all going to boil down to how this guy tests. As long as performance-enhancing drugs are illegal, you're not supposed to take them. How many? If the guy keeps cheating, how many chances does he get, Sal?
Well, I think he should start a new division. Call it the WB Performance Enhancing Drug Usage Division of Boxing. And he doesn't have to worry about being disqualified. And that's it. Let everybody that wants to use performance enhancing drugs go to a new division and see where it gets them. But the bottom line is, no, I'm telling you, how many chances is this guy going to get? And you know what? You keep going back to the well. If you can't believe in yourself, if you can't believe that God gave you certain ability, certain talent, and you got to enhance it, do what you got to do to improve yourself. You know what? You're counting on a freaking drug to do something to you, and so you have false bravado or confidence anyway. So the bottom line is this guy, I think it should be a 3-strike rule. He gets caught one more time, out. Banned for life, whatever, in any credible way, shape, or form. I don't know.
I got a question for you.
I guess you do.
How many licks does it take to get the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? That's what I want to know.
You know what? Let me tell you. I'm still licking. I'll tell you. I used to remember that. I counted, actually. I counted up a couple hundred when I was a kid.
Well, that Al says, let me see. 1, 2, 3.
1,
takes
2, 3.
Yeah. But anyway, Povetkin looking sharp, but still a lot of question marks around Alexander Povetkin.
Yes, it's a shame. He's got some ability. He's got some talent, and The whole drug situation is just a bad scenario. You know what? Use what God gave you and take nutritional supplements are fine that are not banned off the list, and do what you got to do and make yourself the very best you can. Yeah, but it all starts mentally. If you're taking performance-enhancing drugs, there's already a deficit that you can't believe. You don't believe you could do it on your own. That you're going to count on something that's going to help you. So right then and there, that's a deficit. You're done.
You know, human nature is like you try to take the easy way out. And it's not right, especially in sports. For example, and before people say, "Oh, I don't take the easy way," well, you know, because of our intelligence level, the human race, you know, if you're at a stream and you're ready to cross the stream, and you have a choice of wading through the stream and getting soaking wet, or you happen to notice a couple of rocks protruding through the water that you can jump across and stay dry. That's where our intelligence takes over, and it's the easier way to get to the other side, right? Well,
maybe you could slip on the algae on the rocks and fall and break your neck. So you're thinking about these things. There's a big decision, a thought process.
You're good. You're right. You're 100% right. But you're ruining my analogy here, you bastard.
Okay, go ahead.
You know,
they're clean rocks. They're great.
You're a real bastard about that, aren't you? But you're right. Okay. You know, and if it was icy, you could do that too. But my point is this. You know, the truth of the matter is that if a fighter feels it's like running. You know, you and I have talked about this many, many times. And as a matter of fact, I was on the phone with my man Sherman Henson the other day. And, you know, fighters today, and I believe this, and I've talked to many, many fighters and trainers, and it's true. If you run, every fighter's got to run, right? If they run outside, that's better than running on a treadmill or a bike. And there's a lot of new trainers today that will disagree. They'll say cardio is cardio. So the fighter says, well, I think it's a heck of a lot easier to run on a treadmill, you know, watching TV or listening to my favorite tunes than running outside, especially when it's raining or if I have to, you know, dodge traffic and this and that if they're running in the street. So they take an easy way out. And that's my point, you know, and performance-enhancing drugs seems to be an easy way out. Hey, take this supplement. It'll help you burn fat better, you know, and it turns out to be illegal, you know. I think if you know, things in life, it always seems that the road less traveled is the better road to take almost, you know, and in sports, I believe that any shortcut is a bad cut. And I think that performance-enhancing drugs, you know, appears to be the right decision for people. It appears to get them to a place where they want to go easy and quick, and then in the long run, it's no good. I'm sure if somebody invented a pill that said, "Hey, take this pill, you'll lose 25 pounds safely," you know how many people would buy that? You know, rather than going to the gym. I don't know. I think we look for the easy way out too much, Sal.
We do. That's our society. We have a propensity to want shortcuts, to do things. We have a sense of urgency. It directs and motivates all of us to do different things. But there's nothing. I'm telling you, Bill, nothing beats the old school, doing it the old way. And you know, like you said, I loved running, and almost to a degree where I had to pull the reins back at times.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought you were running, not riding a horse.
Well, wait a minute. I'm telling you.
Hey, this horse walked into the bar the other day.
I ran like a horse.
No, this horse walked into the bar the other day, and I said, "Hey, why the long face?" But anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Come on, Mr. Red. Finish. We got to take a commercial break. Would you hurry up?
I'm going to stutter right now, right out of the gate, or the horse out of the gate. Okay, the bottom line is this. You know, what we're saying about treadmill versus real running. I love real running in a sense outside. I loved having to go into the adverse conditions when it was 7 degrees below zero. And we were running at Fort Dix with the All-Army boxing team and a hellacious winter one time. And you got to run with the combat boots. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's part of the mental game, the metal, that you could do things that are not easy for everyone to do. whether you're running in the rain, whether you're running in the woods, you got to adjust your balance, your ability to jump over ponds, to do these things, to shake it up, to shred it, to change it up. Yeah, there's some potential liability. You can slip, you get hurt, you can do this, but it's across the board. And the bottom line is, yeah, the outdoors, the running, the intervals, the distance, the sprints, and all that. I believe in all that stuff, and you can't easily do that as efficiently on a treadmill. I like to go on a football field, a track, do a quarter mile, try to beat my 103, to do this, to do that. Those were the things that I love to do, and those are the things that I think you cannot replace in a pill, or you cannot replace with a treadmill.
No doubt. Hey, listen, hold that thought. We're going to take a short break. When I come back, I got some quotes from Joe Smith Jr. And his fight. And I also got, I know you like to sponsor stuff, so I got some pricing for you to get involved with sponsoring McGregor Mayweather, because it's really cheap, and we'll get to that as soon as we get back from break. So
I've run out of coffee.
Don't go nowhere.
Billy C will be right back. Part of the Billy C Boxing Network.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Exercise year-round against a smooth current set to your desired pace and temperature. With our new underwater treadmill, you can walk or run without stressing your joints. Endless pools are simple to install and even simpler to maintain. The water stays crystal clear with almost no chlorine. Call for your free idea kit and experience the freedom of swimming at home.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-290-8300.
This message is for all Americans that owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS. Look, I know you want to keep ignoring those letters, but the problem isn't going away. It's really stressful, and you don't know where to turn.
The good news is you have rights, and we can help resolve your IRS problems.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, our qualified CPAs, tax negotiators, and support staff know the law and know how to get your situation under control legally and permanently.
Call the number on your screen now and we will contact the IRS on your behalf, help you end wage garnishments, stop collection calls, remove tax liens, get rid of IRS and state tax penalties, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. You wouldn't go to fix your car without going to a mechanic, so why face the IRS without an experienced company that can help you?
Let us take the stress of back taxes and the IRS off your shoulders so you can spend time on the important things in your life, like your family or your business. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, call now and find out how we can help you.
Check out BillyCBoxing.com now, or feel the wrath of the mighty mustache.
Oh, that hurts. Why are you doing that to my face? I hate you.
That's BillyCBoxing.com. Consider this your warning. Now back to Billy C. Interact with the show at BillyCBoxing.com.
And we're back. You're watching and listening to the Billy C Show. Glad you could be with us. And one more time, today anyway, don't forget, be with us when we're down at St. Simon's Island, Georgia, on August 25th and 26th. I'm actually going to be there a little earlier, so you're more than welcome to come down. But we're going to be doing a Billy C get-together August 25th and 26th at the beautiful Sea Palms Resort on St. Simon's. We're going to have some boxing celebrities there. I know Bobby Ches has already agreed to come. Renowned trainer Sherman Henson will be doing some demos on some training techniques, and Sal Rocky Senecola will be his student. So we'll be watching that. We're also going to be doing a meet and greet where there's some food involved, so you get that. The packages include breakfast, the fight, which is the McGregor Mayweather fight. We're also going to be doing a golf tournament. We're all going to truck over to Sal's and sample some of his pizza. So we got a great time for everybody. So get a hold of the CPOMs. Just visit our website, BillyCBoxing.com. Click on the CPOMs banner and mention the Billy C Boxing event, and they'll give you all the pricing. I believe it's somewhere around $230 a person based on double occupancy. That includes the room for 2 days, the golf, the meet and greet, the Billy C's. You'll be part of a live audience for the Billy C's Boxing Revisited show.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Mayweather, McGregor. We got the golf. All of that breakfast. It's all included. So,
Billy, this sounds great. It sounds like an infomercial, and there's more.
No, wait. No, wait. It's great. There is more, because if you act now, you get to eat some pizza at Sal's. Yeah, right?
Absolutely. No, you know what? I'm looking so forward to this, and we're going to have a great time. I want to talk to you later and tell you a couple other things regarding this weekend, but it's going to be a stellar weekend. We're going to have a memorable. We're going to have a great idea.
After my man Sherman slaps you around with the mitts, you're not going to be able to say memorable either. But got a couple of things to mention real quick.
Come and watch me get a beating, boy.
Yeah, that's worth the trip down by itself.
My staff will be ringside.
Oh, your staff they're already. Well, you don't know that the staff has been sending me money. They set this whole thing up. They want Sherman to slap the crap out of you. What are you kidding? But anyway. Hey, say hello to Megan.
Lose 20 pounds.
Say hello to my dream girl Megan next time you see her, will you? Come on, man.
Boy, I'll see her in just a little while.
There you go. But anyway, Joe Smith Jr. Is scheduled to fight on HBO July 15th on the HBO After Dark series. And as you recall, he's 23 wins, 1 loss with 19 wins coming by knockout. Keeps getting passed over for his shot at Adonis Stevenson, but they're making him fight another guy who's only once beaten, 19-1 with 14 knockouts in Sullivan Barrera. I love this fight. I believe that these two guys are very evenly matched, and I think that the winner, no doubt, has to get Adonis Stevenson. Both of these fighters have passed up opportunities to fight him only because Stevenson has passed them by to take much weaker opposition. Joe Smith had an open workout yesterday. He says, it feels great to be fighting on HBO. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in great shape. I'm ready to put on a tremendous performance against Barrera. I'd like to fight Adonis Stevenson. I was ready this year. I'll be ready at any time, but now my focus is solely on this fight, referring to Sullivan Barrera. He says, I'll definitely be going back to working for the union in the future when I'm not training for a fight. It's a great job, and they've been supportive of me throughout my career, which is kind of what we were saying the other day, how a lot of fighters today, Sal, work other jobs, and boxing is a secondary business for them, whereas years ago it was more of a trade.
That's so true, and I'm glad he has something to fall back on, and it sounds like he enjoys it, so that's always good. But when he's doing what he's doing now for a limited period of time, you got to put the blinders on. It can't be too distracted by other things in your life.
Hey, Sal,
that's the old school.
Sal, you got your checkbook handy?
Yeah, sure.
Well, why? The reason why I ask is because they announced the pricing to sponsor. To be a major sponsor for McGregor Mayweather.
All right.
You for if you're looking to get your logos on the center of the ring at the Vegas T-Mobile Arena,
I would love
the branding on the ring card girls, which I would love to brand the ring card girls myself, and on two of the ropes of the 4 ropes, and to get your brand on 2 of the corners of the ring, not the red or blue corners, but the non-fighter corners, the 2 neutral corners.
Neutral.
And you get some mentions in the first minute of every round during the broadcast. And you get $500,000 worth of tickets. Guess how much that'll cost you?
Let me guess, because this is real. I'm adding it all up in my mind. This has got to cost. It's got to cost about $250,000.
Well, if you're getting 500,000 in tickets, would you skip math class that day?
Oh, wait! You're getting $500,000 in tickets?
Yeah, you're getting $500,000 in tickets. You're getting your logo in the center of the ring. You're getting your logo on 2 of the 4 ropes, and you get the ring post corners in the neutral corners, as well as a mention of your brand in the first minute of every round of the fight, which is only going to go a couple rounds anyway. You know what they're asking for that?
Yeah, let me take a real guess now. But you're not getting a golf weekend with Billy and Sal.
No, you're not. That, which is way worth more. But
which is the alternative. That's the alternative. You don't have to open up that big of a checkbook. They've got to be asking at least $2 million.
$10 million. So for a sponsor.
How come I feel like what was the movie series they had with the guy that $100,000 with the what was it called?
No. You're thinking of
Shagalicious.
Right. Yeah, Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
For ransom, we want $1 million, and they're all laughing at him. $1 million. But anyway, so for the low price at $10 million, you get all of that. Now, just to give you an idea. If you paid $7 million to $10 million, that's the range, $7 to $10 million for a season, you get to have a 2.5-inch by 2.5-inch logo on NBA basketball teams' jerseys, like Goodyear is doing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But at least they're playing X amount of games, and you're on their jerseys for the whole thing. So for that kind of money, you're getting some payoff. For this, you're getting scammed. The sponsorship dollars for McGregor Mayweather is just as much of a scam as will be the fight. So there you have it. Unbelievable. Speaking of a fight, the next real fight that we'll be watching, truthfully, is Triple G against Canelo Alvarez. And they had wrapped up their tour early in the week, and as you know, Triple G is undefeated, 37-0 with 33 knockouts, and Canelo Alvarez 49-1 with a draw with 34 knockouts. Triple G, his last fight was the first fight in a long time that he didn't win by knockout. They had this to say in that last press conference, which took place, I believe, in Vegas or New York. It might have been. Canelo says this is going to be a very tough fight against Triple G. There are fights that are difficult, and this is going to be one of them. I'm going to prepare like I always do, 100%. I'm happy we're giving the fans the fight they wanted and demanded on September 16th, as that is a great motivation to me. This is very important to all Mexican fans, and I'm going to train as hard as I always do. Triple G said, this press tour has been great. I've been waiting 20 years to be in a fight like this. Canelo is a different guy than anyone I have ever faced. He's a huge fighter and a great champion. On September 16th, we will both put on a great boxing show.
Wow.
I can't wait for this fight. And, like I've said many, many times, if you asked me who was going to win this fight a year ago, I would have very quickly said Triple G easily. I'm not so sure right now, Sal. I love Triple G. He's one of my favorite active fighters today. Canelo Alvarez, extremely talented fighter. I have seen him get better and better. He still has one weakness that he hasn't improved. We've talked about it a million times, which happens to help Triple G. But I think the truth of the matter is Canelo is much bigger than Triple G. I don't care. You'll see it when they stand next to each other. I know Triple G has, I think, a half-inch or an inch height advantage, but physically, the build themselves, I think Alvarez will be the bigger man on fight night. What do you think of how the press tour went? Went very controlled, and both these guys, despite being in, arguably their biggest fights of their careers, are acting like professionals during the press tour.
Oh, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a good mark for boxing. And I think these guys are doing what they're supposed to do. They're being respectful. They're being they're making themselves to hopefully be their best that night. And they do know the magnitude and the significance of what this fight holds, not only for the middleweight division but for boxing, because all eyes are going to be on this, especially after a false fraud make-up, fake-up fight with Mayweather and this other guy, Conor McGregor. This is going to be one of the biggest fights this year, let alone maybe several years, maybe a decade. I don't know. It's going to be a great fight. I love it. I love this fight.
Can't wait to watch it, and maybe we'll even be watching it in St. Simons. But
I think we're going to try and work for that. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make that happen. So we might have St. Simons revisited.
Hey, that's right, and that's coming along really well. We got the show's all set. I got to get you your copies. But anyway,
I'd love to look at them.
Hey, by the way, did you download it or did you just watch it from the link?
Can I tell you something? You know me with technology, Bill.
I think you just watched
it. You said it's going to take an hour. You said it's going to do this, and that, and to download it. I opened the thing up, and boom, there it was.
No,
so
that's because you didn't download it. You didn't even download it.
And said, hey,
all you did was double clicked on the link and you played it. That's what you did. So you don't have it. You don't even have it because it's going to be coming.
I don't have it. I could double click the link.
No, that
again,
link. No? It's not going to be on that link forever. What, are you kidding me? You know how much space?
Find it. I got it. Then it's going to be the missing link.
I'll tell you, how much space is that taking up on one of our servers? It's killing me. Anyway, on this day, June 29th, which you have no idea about. Space to you is on the counter. But on this day, June 29th, in 1876, Joe Start of the New York Mutuals hits into Major League Baseball's first triple play during an 8-0 loss at St. Louis. The shortstop, the way he hit into this, he hit it to the shortstop. So the shortstop goes to first base to second base to third base, and that's where we got the 3 outs. Shortstop to first, there's 1 out. First base to second, there's 2 outs. Second base to third, there's 3 outs. First Major League Baseball triple play took place on this day in 1876. I know it's not boxing, but pretty interesting to consider, that maybe they weren't as fast the runners as
I was going to say they must have been running slow.
Yeah. Usually it's the other. Usually it starts at third when they get the double play. But anyway,
were they allowed to lead off the base? Were they allowed to go off the bat?
Well, I'll tell you one thing they were allowed to do. They were allowed to smoke cigars and drink beer and eat hot dogs in the dugout. Something that they don't do today. But
especially the guy going for third.
I know. Well, they didn't tell you that he took a rest halfway between second and third.
He stopped and shook the shortstop's head.
Right, exactly.
The ball first.
Exactly. On this day, June 29th, in 1916, despite giving away 35 pounds, Jack Dillon wins a 10-round decision over Frank Moran in the first major ballpark fight that took place in the United States, and it took place at Brooklyn's Washington Park. Dillon weighed 169 pounds, and Moran weighed 204.5 pounds. Dillon won $40,000 as his purse in front of 18,000 fans. And in 1916, boys and girls, 40 grand was huge. Let me just tell you this, in case you don't know who Frank Moran was. Frank Moran was a guy who fought for the world heavyweight title. He fought and lost to Jack Johnson. So a big fight for Jack Dillon in 1916. On this day,
$40,000 back there, Bill, had to be millions in today's dollars.
Well, had to be definitely over $1 million. But people were working for $2 a week.
I know.
In 1916. But on this day in 1933, one of the most underrated fighters in the history of boxing. And after reading the book about him, I learned that he doesn't really get the credit that he deserves. Primo Carnera knocks out Jack Sharkey in the 6th round to win the world heavyweight title. It took place in Long Island City, New York, on this day in 1933. He was in good shape too, Primo Carnera. It's an interesting read if you ever are curious about him.
think he got a bad rap a couple of times.
Well, he got a bad rap because he definitely started out as just a big doofus. But towards the end of his career, he did learn to, deliver a jab. And he was such a big man for the time. And he was in good shape. It wasn't just like he was just a big, huge guy. He was in good shape. And he was a hero in Italy. As a matter of fact, they made his home a museum in Italy, and he's on stamps and everything in Italy. So
wow.
Primo Carnera. Anyway, on this day, June 29th in 1950, the Yankees. I wonder why this is a lot of non-boxing stuff today. The Yankees recall lefty Ed Whitey Ford from their Kansas City AA minor league team, and he wins his first 9 decisions to help the Bombers win their second straight pennant. And that took place in 1950. Everybody knows Whitey Ford. You just didn't know his first name was actually Ed. And on this day,
never knew that.
Yeah, and on this day in 1982, the Nets trade guard Ray Williams to the Kansas City Omaha Kings for guard Phil Ford. So we got you a lot of sports news. A lot of it in New York. As a matter of fact, all of it taking place in New York. The New York Mutuals, Brooklyn's Washington Park, Primo Carnera in Long Island City, New York, the Yankees, which unfortunately are from New York, and the Nets, which in 1982 were playing out of Long Island, and thus the reason I'm a fan. But anyway, hey man, that concludes our show for today. We won't be doing a live show tomorrow, so I want you guys to make sure that you tune in Monday morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, ciao, baby.